Hey people, this is Talem Splash, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Final Fantasy XII, the Zodiac Age. In the last part, we started the Barheim Passage, and now we're going to continue on into the second half of it. This half is a little bit less puzzly than the first. It's more straightforward, just sort of fight through it. But, I mean, honestly, the first half is pretty much like that too. Anyway, but in this part, we're going to be doing some gil grinding because there's a really nice spot to farm some gil early on. By killing skeletons, and I'll show that to you after. Like, there's no skeletons right now because our charge is too high up, but we're gonna not kill the last mimic, so that way we can let the charge fall all the way to the bottom, and then all the dead monsters, the undead monsters rather, will start coming out of the woodwork here, and we're gonna be able to like really farm them for a loot item called the bone fragment. And I'll show you how to do it. It's really simple, but like since we haven't actually done any chain farming yet in this Let's Play, I figured I might as well show you. And by the way, those chests that were mimics, those are actual mimics, and I think that's cool that they did that. They actually implemented that in the game. And we get a potion. Thank you, game. I appreciate that. All that you do for me, your RNG-ish treasure coffers that you've never done in any other game since. Maybe for the better, but in this game, it's definitely for the better that it does exist because it makes it more interesting. It's partially why this game never gets old, is because, you know, it's so reliant on RNG as far as the reward system, but like there's never really bad rewards. Like you can always find a way to progress. Oh look, a cypress pole, a thing I'm wearing because I bought one already. But if I hadn't bought one, then I would have one because that's how rewarding the game is. Now I can sell it instead, and you know, so it's so rewarding because things that you can't wear, you can still sell, and that's cool. Anyway, this is 115 gil. And I think there's one more chest over here. Am I correct? I am incorrect. I think maybe there can be, unless I grabbed it without thinking. But anyway, let's continue on. By the way, now that Bosch has found a sword on the ground in that last cutscene, he actually has a sword, and so he's a little bit more fun to play because he's not just punching with his fists. And you know, he's decently powerful. He does about 125 damage. But you know, Vaughn has a pole, and honestly, Bosch is cooler, way cooler than Vaughn, but. I don't know, he's a little bit faster because he's a monk. Monks are really about speed and stuff in this game. Speed and recovery and using poles and stuff. It's kind of cool. And, ooh, a cherry staff. That'll be really good if we have a black mage at some point. Which we don't have right now. Balthier is not a black mage, he's a time mage. And oddly enough, in this game, I mean, I guess it's time battle mage. Maybe that's why they called it battle mage, is because he wears heavy armor instead of like magic armor. But red mages, I think, still wear the magic armor in this game, or at least the light armor, if I'm not mistaken, which I very well could be. Ooh, a Capella. Okay, actually, that might be better than the bowgun. Well, he can't wear it anyway because he's not a machinist. Okay, yeah, sorry Balthier, you're stuck with what you got. Bowguns are still cool. My only problem with bowguns is that they tend to miss a lot, and that's kind of frustrating. Missing does kind of suck. They're really good for their range though, and they're really powerful when they land. But you know, I think they're not bad about like hitting. It's just they can't deal with evasion from enemies that well. I don't really know how the system works in that regard because that's something I never really paid attention to. Anyway, as we're going up here, we're actually almost done. That's the last mimic, and what I'm gonna do, I'll kill this small mimic right here. Don't kill the big mimic, because yeah, we'll just go after this one. And all right, I'm gonna flee now. Get away from that mimic. I want to let that mimic keep on draining everything because we want the power to go down as fast as possible, so that way our enemies come out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna set the speed mode multiplier to 4. Back in the vanilla days, I used to do this too. And I didn't have that speed multiplier, so I just had to wait. And that sucked, because it was just a long time waiting. But now that we have times 4, we can just sort of chill around here for a while, and nothing is really difficult to do. And see, there's our first skeleton right there. So, now, when you're chaining things, what you want to do, if you want to increase your chain level up quickly, don't pick up loot right away. See that loot? Don't pick it up, because if you do pick it up, you'll still increase your chain level, but it'll be slower than if you didn't. And I'll explain that as we go on and do it. The only instance where you can pick up a loot before it's leveled up is if the chain number flashes, and I'll show it when it does flash. But anyway, now all these skeletons are spawning because you know the charge is dropping, and so we have a 5 chain. And you'll see we're gonna level up our chain very quickly because we're not picking up this loot, and it'll help us get loot faster in the long run. So that's a 7 chain. We're still at chain level 1. Alright, so one thing you might want to do, so there's that toad in the background. I'm going to have everyone, and I mean everyone, set to party leader's target, so that way I'll turn off that thing for Fran. And actually, I want to... Yeah, that's good the way it is. And then Bosch, only also party leaders target. So that way, they don't attack an enemy that I don't want them to, which is very important right now, given that we're being very careful. See, we already got our first chain level up. And so if the toad starts attacking you, that's fine. Just let him do it. You have Fran. She can heal. Actually, I don't think he saw us, which is great. Oh, he saw us. Okay, that's fine. But you know what? Just attack the skeletons. Ignore everything else. It doesn't matter. Ignore the toad, because the toad doesn't matter. And just focus on the skeletons. And same thing with the tiny mimics. And yes, it does get annoying to sort of like pick and choose which enemy that you're attacking. But for the sake of your chain, because you don't want to break your chain, that's just what you're going to have to do. And it's easy, really. You just sort of do it. And like Fran will take care of healing. The toad doesn't hit for that much, honestly. So don't worry about it. And if this is too much for you to handle in active mode, just go into wait mode. And it's the same exact thing. Like wait mode doesn't change anything about your chain or about like how you chain or anything, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. And just keep going on. I have slow, and I don't have any way. I have one way to heal slow. I'm not gonna do it though. See, our chain. We're only at 16 chain. We're already at level 3, and our goal is to get to level 4, because level 4 is the max that you can get your chain bonus to, and then we'll start picking up loot. But Vaughn is slowed, unfortunately. It sucks. That really sucks. Like, if it's one thing I really don't like, in this game is controlling slowed characters. In 14 is controlling your character after he gets heavied. In 14, heavy is like a status that slows your movement speed significantly. And it's so annoying to deal with. Anyway, okay, that's good. We're gonna leave these now. And we're gonna go over into this area. And there's gonna be skeletons that spawn here too. Just make sure that you don't pick up those chests that had the mimics in them the first time, because they will have mimics in them again. And you don't want to break your chain with those mimics, and they're just annoying to deal with. So just don't open them. And I think the one over here, you don't want to open that, because that will be a mimic. So just don't open any chests beyond your first time. Just kill the skeletons to play it safe. And there's our level 4. So now I'm gonna go and pick up this one over here, because once you have a level 4 chain, you can go and pick up anything. And now we just kill stuff, and we're gonna get these big ones, and they have a lot more loot in them. Ooh, we got an iron helm. Okay, so that's good for Balthier. So there you go. See, it's always worth it to do this kind of stuff. One thing I should also mention that can break your chain is don't ever touch a save point while you're trying to chain things, because that will break it. And other things that can break it is obviously killing another enemy or entering a town. So don't enter a town either if you're trying to chain. I think those are all the things that can break your chain. If I'm missing any others, just let me know. Yeah, alright, so let's continue on. We're also getting these bone fragments, and that's what I'm actually after. We only have 5 right now. I'm going to try and get as many as possible. If I have to cut off screen, I will totally do that. To respawn the enemies that we just fought, you just go 2 zones back, and which is really fast because the load times are fast they're fast in the Zodiac age. Then just go back and don't touch the save point. You can walk up to it, just don't actually save with it or heal yourself with it, because then that will break your chain. And now we just keep doing what we're doing, and it gets really easy from this point on. We just get our bone fragments, and I'm probably not going to go all the way up to 99 like I would on a single playthrough, because we're at a decent enough level where I don't have the incentive to grind for experience right now. I only have the incentive to grind for gil, which is of course just like an optional thing. Like, we don't need that gil. It'll just make things a little bit easier down the line. And I have to change this back to _2, because ×4 is way too whatchamacallit, too fast for me. Too fast 5 me. I can't be like Sonic all the time. You know, the only problem with being so fast is that you only see darkness when you're faster than light. Or something like that. That's stupid. The first time I read that, I just cracked up laughing. I don't think I didn't make the delivery as awesome as I could have, but you know what I mean. It's funny. I think it's funny anyway. Probably cringy. I'm pretty sure I already brought up that thing in this very Let's Play already. No, it might have been in 15. I don't care. The point is, I think it's cool. You know, Balthier, you hold crossbows the same exact way you hold guns, and I don't know if that's a consistency thing, or it's just like an aspect of laziness on the devs, but I kind of like it because it gives you character. It's how you hold your ranged weapons. I wonder how he holds bows, honestly, because I've never made Balthier an archer, and I didn't land him on archer in this playthrough either. So You know, it's interesting to see how it would end up. I might do that in the future, like make Balthier an archer. I've made Balthier a white mage before. Making Balthier a white mage is kind of fun because the way he holds rods is kind of interesting. And but you know, Fran's gonna have to do it for this time. You know, Fran really fits the job system the most. Even though she has like the weakest stats right now, is because like her character, she's meant to be someone who's like a sort of like a jack of all trades, like a jack of all weapon trades and stuff. And that's honestly what she is. Although I kind of wish there was like a freelancer job or like an Onion Knight job that's like, once you like if it was possible to max out every single board, which was on it, that would break the game if you could. But imagine like being able to like utilize them all like for just one character or something. No, I take that back. That's not a good idea at all. Like in my head, it sounded cooler. But yeah, let's continue on killing the skeletons. I'm sorry if this episode's not all that exciting because we're just sort of grinding in this one. Especially compared to the last one, which was kind of cutscene heavy towards the end. But, you know, I was going to make this all one video, and then I thought, you know, that'll make the second half really kind of dull, so why don't I just make a dull episode? Because then it might be less dull, because, you know, there's, you don't have much to compare it to, because it's just the one episode. And it's still cool to, like, learn how to farm these things, and we're going to be doing this more. This isn't the easiest place to farm skeletons. There is an easier way in the next dungeon coming up after this one, in the story, which will be like probably in like, you know, maybe 3 or 4 videos or so. We'll see how it goes. I don't know if it'll be 3 or 4 videos or what, but you know, it'll be kind of soon. The next dungeon, which also happens to be another mine. You know, this game loves mines. There's 3 mine dungeons in this game. There's this one, the one coming up, and then there's also another one around like the 40% mark. And they're all cool. I like the 3rd one the most, for sure. Barheim Passage I also enjoy. You know, all the mines are pretty interesting. They at least feel unique, and I think that's what sets these mines apart. They have an identity. The Barheim Passage does not feel like the next one the next mine that we're gonna be going to, and the next mine that we're going to does not feel like the one after that. So, you know, it's just this nice flavor of Evilise, the world, having such a core personality. I'm rambling again. I'm sorry, guys. It's what I do, and I'm not getting any bone fragments. That sucks. Okay, yeah, that mimic just gave up. It's like, yeah, screw those guys. They're not even paying attention to me. They're just ignoring me. Being mean. You know, 25 bone fragments, I'd say that's enough. I just want to move on, honestly. We'll kill, I mean, as long as there are skeletons, I will kill them. I want as many as I can get. Just don't drop potions, drop bone fragments. What's the point of you? You don't drop... Alright, there we go. We got another one of those. And let's go up here and take care of these 2. And I'm really just excited to go to take my gambits back to nearest visible, because doing an enemy one at a time is kind of tedious, honestly. Not a fan of it. Alright. And what is this? I think this is 52 gil. Awesome. I didn't know that. And there's 2, that's the Mimic. Okay, the Mimic came back. It's like, you know what, I'm going to give it one more go. But unfortunately, I'm not going to be so lenient with them. Actually, now I will. Because now we're done chaining skeletons. We got a 66 chain. That is nothing compared to the things we'll be chaining in the future. You're going to start seeing like 150 chains eventually in this Let's Play. Because there's things I'm just going to want to chain. I mean, they're easier to chain too. Let me have a sip of my tea. Oh man, what are you doing spawning after I already broke my chain? Oh well. With my luck, you might just... Yeah, you still dropped a bone fragment, so that's all that matters to me. So let's move on now. Let's move on. Oh my god. Skeleton V. Skeleton V. There you go. You're dead. You didn't drop anything, though. Yeah, I'm probably going to be getting off to bed after this episode. I wanted to record more, but, you know, it's late, and oh my god, it's already 12:22. I started this... I've been recording for about 40 minutes now, for both this current episode and the one previous. And, yeah, we'll save our game, I guess. Yeah, I guess it can't hurt to save our game. We'll save it on this one right here, the Noble Dungeon Stockade. Yes. And, you know, I've been playing on my other file, as you can see right there. And definitely some things I'm finding out about this game, like the subtle changes between IZJS and the Zodiac Age, really allow this game to be so different at the same time. Excuse me. I said that preemptively because I knew I was going to burp, or like do a hiccup burp. But yeah, I'm so excited to get to those changes and like get like the swords and stuff for our knight, which is Pinello. Unless we land a second knight, we could get a second knight. We'll see what our jobs end up being. It's totally possible we'll have more than one knight. Whoa! All right, yeah, you were not there like 2 seconds ago. But you know that's how these bosses appear. They're just kind of they're like, sup, I'm the Mimic Queen, and I'm here to wreck some serious shit. Let's go straight for the Mimic Queen. And one nice thing about keeping the Gambit the same is that we can actually ignore all these tinier mimics and just focus on the main one. I don't know if Fran has Blizzard. Can you use Blizzard? Do we have that? No, we have Thunder. Okay. Ironically, these things are they're weak to ice. They are not weak to thunder, which you would think they're weak to thunder because they're all metallic and stuff. But nope, they're weak to ice. Which, I mean, it makes sense in the design of the game because they, for some reason, made Blizzard they made ice the opposite of lightning instead of water, because water isn't really like water is an element, but it's like it doesn't really have that many spell levels. There's like only there's Aqua. The spell Aqua, and then there is no second level version of Aqua. There's just Aqua, and then you have Aquara motes, which do the second level version, but they're only items. And that's what's strong against fire. Which is why I guess there's not that many fire enemies in this game, except for like the Fire Main, which it doesn't really matter. Because for some reason there is no Aquara or Aquaga that you can use. There's an Aquara that enemies can use, but you can't. Yeah, we gotta get out of here. Get out of the Barheim Passage. This is why we can't. This is why I couldn't go farm those the bone fragments beforehand, because of that reason. It caves in on itself, and we're out. We are out. Fresh air, the great outdoors.
To think Dalmascan air could taste so sweet.
All right, Bosch. All right.
The Esther's sand, by the look of it. Let's back to Rabanastre before we shrivel up. By your leave, Captain.
Yes, the hour of my return is already over late. The people may hate me, but that does not free me of my charge.
Yeah, honestly, that wasn't my original joke, to throw in the fart there. That was something that Monkey Pants 63, if that's your name, please, I hope that's your name. It's been so long, I can't really remember. She did like this FF12 abridged kind of deal, and it was really funny, and that was one of the jokes that she did in that video series, or at least that one video. Anyway, we have a little bit of extra time, so I'm gonna go ahead and spend our LP right now at the end of this video, so I don't have to do it later. Because I always forget to spend LP in this Let's Play because it's just something I usually do like on off time. Gain MP after dealing damage. That's good. I like that. After taking damage, I like that too. We'll get those augments so we have them. And yes, I want that as well. That's HP plus 150. That's a huge deal right now this early on in the game. Balthier, you're a time mage. So I mean, honestly, he doesn't like time mages are very situational. Like you don't use their spells all the time like you would a black mage. They mostly that's why they have such good offense just attacking, because their spells are so much more situational. You want to use them in certain instances, but nothing that you would use all the time. So I still want to unlock, okay, we don't need to unlock that for a while. There's not that many, there's actually not that many time magic slots, because there's not that much time magic in the game. There's time magic 6, and I think time magic 7, and is that the last one? Okay, there's also time magic 8. Alright, so I guess it does go on for quite a while. I was wrong. All the way up to 10. So there's 10 levels, and the final ones being Graviga and Hastiga. But for now, we just have Slow, Immobilize, Reflect, Disable, Vanish, and Balance. They're very much like in 13, the Saboteurs. That's basically what the Time Mages are in this game. And they're Time Mages because they have Slow and Haste, and that's about it. They also, like, I mean, Vanish, Reflect, those aren't really, like, time spells, but, like, where else are they going to fit in, right? So that's where they stick them in this game, which is totally fine with me. I would like to also unlock this thing, so we can start making our way over to this crossbow. I could have gone with another Gambit slot, but I don't care. Fran, your turn. We'll take your plus 30 HP. We do want to get White Magic, because White Magic is used a lot more often in this game. It's not as situational. At least up to Cura right now, I think we'll be good in that regard. These are all Magic Lores. That's plus 150 HP. I don't recommend getting any quickenings until we get our second jobs, specifically in the Zodiac age. If you're playing the normal ICJS on the PS2, then go ahead and go crazy. Just know that once you use that slot, you only have 3 slots, and then you could potentially lock yourself out of this slot, or something like this slot right here, although this slot doesn't matter. Like, you want to prioritize these slots because this actually like builds a pathway over to the plus 190 HP and things like that. I hope I'm making sense. If I'm not, I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm not. I talk about this game like everybody knows exactly what I'm talking about, and honestly, I know most people don't. So I'll forgive you, and you'll just have to learn along the way, like I did when I first played this game. Because like I said last video, I sucked at this game early on. I got stuck at the Barheim Passage. Nobody gets stuck at the Barheim Passage except for me, but I did. Alright, so we're done here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to save. Well, I guess we'll talk to this guy. The whole entrance just caved in with a crash, and the boss is still inside. There's another entrance to Barheim around here somewhere, but the boss has the key. Oh man. Oh well, that kind of sucks. Well, yeah, we're going to save our game, and I'll see you in the next episode where we make our way back to Rabanastre. We're going to make a pit stop in Nalbina Town again, though, just like we did with Vaughn and Pinello, because that's along the way. And we'll kill the flowering cactoid. That's the plan for next episode. Take care, guys. I'm tired. I've talked a lot in the past 40 minutes. My throat's really dry. I'm going to go to bed. Sleep well. Or, I upload these in the morning. So have a nice day. Whatever, guys. All right, see ya. Take care.